At last, we're back. And where the hell have you lot been? Oh no, I'm so sorry, it's been such a long time. I think it's been 8 or 9 months since my last solo overnight camp. And finally, we made it. And thanks so much for those of you who have stuck around. Some have gone, many have stayed, and that's special because it's quality, not quantity. And yes, we're back in my place. The tap-in was somewhat arduous because it's going to be touching around 30 degrees Celsius, and I'm just so grateful that we're actually in shade. So it does make you think what the lads went through out in Afghan and stuff in that heat with that kit. That's something else. So without further ado, let's see what we brought along today for the trip. As you can see from my back, this is a very old backpack. You can get them for around £10, £15, and I'll tell you what, it's one of them bags that you expect to see if everything goes real tits up in the not too distant future maybe. Strong, very well made canvas, and it's Italian, 1945 around that time. So back then they really did make things to last, and it does make you consider about what you would carry. Rather than a great big heavy military burden perhaps. It's the same old thing, you know, the longer you spend researching and trying skills and getting good at them, it means pretty much the less kit you need to carry. So I'm trialing out like an inch bag idea. I'm never coming home, so it's just bare essentials, the 5 C's, and maybe a few extras. Trying to keep it small, not too heavy, which is very hard to do, and just trying things in and out of the bag over time. This is the first time I've put a few items in to see how I fare with them, and I thought I'd bring you guys along just to see what's involved and how we get on really. So yeah, it could be a nice long series of videos about the inch bag. So there's a few items in there which are going to stay. A lot of them are just things that have come recently which I want to try out. So yeah, let's see what's inside the bag. Right, starting from the top, we've got, it's like a nameplate with a popper, a piece of metal, and we got someone's name in there as well. Wow. All in Italian. I love it when you get old kit and you get like bits of history as well. Very cool. I think I've had this over a year now and I've used it quite a few times. I don't think it's appeared in any YouTube videos yet, but I'm just so impressed with how hard wearing it is. It seriously is. And this, I haven't done this up purposely because I wanted to show you. You get like an internal storm flap, and with all of the eyelets, as you can see, I think the condition's incredible considering it's donkey's years old, and all of the stitching is hard use too. Now it comes with a chain. Now the idea is the chain will just interlink between the external eyelets and the storm flap itself, so you can pretty much make it very secure and weatherproof if you're on a long journey. Okay, so that could be very important, especially with snow and blizzards and things, with elements blowing everywhere. You don't want your kit getting ruined. And of course, being very thick, heavy canvas, it's going to be pretty much waterproof. I've got one of these which I bought recently on Amazon. I think it was around 20 quid and it was on offer as well, so I grabbed that. That is a portable little backpack, and the idea is you take it out and it's a little backpack. It folds up in a small place and it's supposed to be very waterproof. Now I'm going to see, the idea is you can collect firewood, unpack it, put it on your back, come back to camp with your firewood rather than just overloading your hands. It keeps your hands free, and also being waterproof. I wanted to see, by filling it up in the stream, if you can carry water in it so I can purify it later, but more about that later on in the video. I don't know if it's by Chick Bonda is the company. I'll put a link underneath if it comes out pretty good. Obviously Fire Dragon. Now I always use that as a backup, haven't really had to use it, hence it's still pretty much full up to the top. But if we do get any difficulties, you've always got something which will guarantee that you have a fire quickly, alright? And that is being proven in all elements too. My silky big boy saw. We've got a Ranger band here, which is bicycle inner tube, which you just do one simple knot, and of course, as you know, you can use that to do all sorts of things. So I thought, rather than chop it up into bands and stretch it over, you've got an alternate use to tying things, etc. So you can do all sorts of things with that. There's probably a whole new video just on that piece of equipment alone. We've got an issue, British Army issue sweat rag, which were issued to the troops in deployment in the Middle East. All sorts of reasons and things you can do with this. Obviously, you soak it with water, put it around your neck to cool you, to keep the body temperature regulated, and also for a water filter or a sling. Put kit and equipment in, tie it up, carry it. There's loads of things. And look at the size. It's next to nothing. It weighs nothing at all. Very well made piece of kit and equipment too. And the big boy. Now I wanted something which was long enough so it will fit in most backpacks out of the way, and also you don't need it to be this long for a cutting edge, but if you needed to cut a limb from above you, you haven't got to reach very far because the distance on there is quite significant, as you can see. So it's not all about great big logs. You can use smaller pieces like this, but way over head height to save you climbing and risk injury. One thing I do like about these silky saws is this. You can set it at an angle, so if you are cutting on the floor, you're not going to smash your knuckles up, see? It's spaced off of the floor, so your knuckles are safe. Very nice. I chose that colour because I think this is one of the most important pieces of equipment anyone could carry, and you don't want to get it lost, okay? So you will see that instantly in all the green. I keep it oiled and wrapped up in a sweat rag, as you just saw. We've got this, which is a new piece of equipment I just got. Since my friend Simon at Wilderness Leisure has ceased trading, I'm supporting other Army surplus stores. And one of the latest people I've been buying my kit and equipment from is Denby Army Surplus. Now, I got myself another one of these self-inflating military thermal mats. This is the bag it comes in. Inside is a fleece, so it doubles up as a pillow inside out. And also inside out you can carry water in it as well, firewood, whatever you want. Just in this today, I've got a little chopping board, nice, thin and lightweight for preparing food. And also this is excellent for getting oxygen into your fire. All right. Brilliant idea. It's a nice bit of kit, and obviously, I mean, that cost £1. All right. And I've had this for about 3 years now, and it's still fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Doesn't weigh anything, which is also an added bonus. Java lava, look at that. My favourite coffee now comes in a bag. I know, how wicked is that? Put on to me by my friend on Instagram, and he sent me some to try, and they're very, very good. And I went out and bought about 3 or 4 boxes, so I've got stock now, and they last for quite a while. They weigh nothing, and you could probably use the same bag a few times. I haven't tried it yet, but it's something I've been meaning to do. So that's coffee sorted. I don't need to carry the press and other bulky equipment. I brought 3 bags for the trip. I'm off to honey now, and I'll pack this, and a good job I did. Look, put it into a sealy bag, because you can see it's leaked a little bit. A schoolboy error would be throw it in a pack without a bag, and you could come well unstuck. It's fruit syrup, okay, made from natural fruit, not messed about, nice and simple. So that will sweeten my coffee, and also you get a couple of elasticated straps to keep your self-inflating mat together. The reason I didn't put that in there in its own entirety is because I wanted to flatten this pack out. The pack is quite narrow, so putting a great big round bulky item in there, I decided to fold it like this. It's just more streamlined to carry. Now this is, it could well be a long-term solution. All right. 1, it doesn't weigh much. 2, it's big enough 3/4 length, so it will keep all of your vital organs, etc. safe and off of the cold damp floor in the winter months. It's thermal, so it's perfect. And it actually does self-inflate. Now, I was really skeptical about some of these mats. Now, you undo the nozzle and you come back and it hasn't really done anything, but this really does work. And I was absolutely surprised. These are very inexpensive when you compare them to the slightly lighter weight, not as well robust Thermarest. So these are a good cheap option to save you spending well over £100 on a quality lightweight one. But this one I'm confident I'm putting straight on the forest floor because it is so well made. And these are actually issued to the British troops right now. They've only been around for around a year and they're excellent. I can't recommend them highly enough. Again, I brought this from Denby Army Surplus to support our surplus industry because not everyone can afford the expensive kit and equipment, and I've always been an avid fan of using military kit and equipment. So, very, very impressed. So that will be used tonight. And future videos, I can see this being like a baby changing mat, etc. You can put that in a hammock. There's all sorts of reasons why you should have something like this. The actual NSN, the NATO stock number, let's see if you can see that on the screen. There it is there. So if you want to take a screenshot or a screen grab of that information, I'll put the link underneath the video. It might make it easier if anyone wants to look into getting hold of these. They're an excellent piece of kit. Some birch bark sent from my mate Ralph in America. So we're going to be looking at giving that a little trial soon. Now I'm really looking forward to using this. I've never used it yet. I've kept it clean and new for you guys. I ordered some strops all the way from America. Now my friend Craig, hi Craig, thanks for supporting me, my family and the channel. I can't thank you highly enough. And I ended up getting myself one of these. Look, it's a recurve strop on 2 different grades of leather. Very well made. And we've got some stropping compound in the bag there. I'm sorry about the sunlight, but it seems to be playing havoc at the moment through these trees. All different grades. So we're going to be using that to sharpen our knife, which we'll come to in a minute. Don't let me forget. And obviously I'm never ever going to be without my BCB mug and lid, the Crusader. In there we've got very important water purification, which I deem as definitely long term. It's the Millbank bag. Information on the screen there. You can get these all over the internet now. They used to be quite rare, but there seems to be quite a lot of these. And I'll be demonstrating this through the video, so stay tuned for that. Got a ferro rod. Everyone should always carry a ferro rod when out in the woods, from Wessex Blades. And my special little bottle opener, and my extra special little cigar cutter given to me by Dell at Christ, what's he called now? Weber Handmade. So it's Dirty Room Knives, Red Path Knife and Tool, now Weber Handmade. Sorry Dell, I'm not mucking around. But that is my go-to cigar clipper now. Always goes with me. And of course the heavy cover lid. I think you can get them on the Raymere's website and shop around. But it's the BCB, no sorry, not the BCB, it's by a company called Heavy Cover. And the company is veteran owned from the US of A. So always support veterans, the service industry as a whole. That's my brief message about that. And my little fire kit. We're going to be starting the fire with some Brasso metal polish. And my little long-term survival fire kit in an Altoids tin, which doubles up as a charcloth maker with Ranger Band. I'll show you the inside of that later on. I'm trying to keep this brief. And one of my most favourite pieces of kit and equipment, no sleeping bag, but a good quality wool blanket. Now I believe this to be Russian, very, very old, very heavy, very, very warm and very comfortable and very large as well. You can easily get 2 people in this, all snuggled up, keep you nice and warm, keep your body heat in, and I just absolutely love it. It's so hard wearing. It really is. There's lots of wool blankets. As you can see, this one's had a repair. There's lots of wool blankets on the market, but if you find something that you like and it's hard wearing and well made, that's the one I would strongly consider packing in an inch bag. Absolutely. And obviously lots of you guys who support this channel will support my friend in Russia, Lars. Used to be Moscow Prepper, now he's called Survival Russia. He's always banging on about his Plash Palatska. So I got one. Now I've had this just over a year now. I took it to the last prepper meet and I had it hooked up outside the cabin that I stayed in. So we're going to be using this as a basher setup, lean-to configuration, nice and simple. But if you watch his videos, there's quite a few links that Lars puts up on his channel now. There's so many uses for these. Rather than just a shelter to sleep in, it's a poncho, stretcher, backpack. The list is absolutely endless. So very versatile piece of kit and equipment. The Russian Plash Palatska. And obviously, as I said before, the backpack is Italian. I believe these were issued to the Italian San Marco division, which is the Mountain Royal Marines. Not the Royal Marines, sorry, they're Marine Special Forces. If you can get them, I recommend it. The only thing that I would consider doing is obviously the straps. I would actually reinforce those with some sort of foam, because once that's very heavy, after a long distance they could really give your shoulders a bit of grief. Okay. The side pouches are very generous too in here. We've got our candle. Now I used to carry my water filter in here, my Sawyer Mini, but for today's video I've just swapped it over and put my candle lantern in there. Now this patch, I've got no idea what they're called. I got that from Wilderness Leisure from a 50p bin, and I think I got quite a few of them to Animal Tendencies, and he put some kit he was making and selling them on. But yeah, that's a lovely little robust pouch. Comes into its own when you get the UCO candle lantern. Now some of you might have remembered when I've done that trip up Brecon Beacons, I took this. A very nice piece of kit. There's the candle there, comes on its spring mechanism, and underneath you've got a little LED torch. And what you do is you turn it on and you've got a little emergency light there. Very nice. The old ones don't have these, but these new ones do. It still has the little glass inner on the inside, and obviously the little hanger with its chain as well. So we'll be looking forward to using that later on when it gets a bit dark. The heat that radiates as well in a small shelter is very good. That little plate on top will get very hot, so be wary where you actually hang it, okay? The standard old basher pegs I've been using since day one. I did plan on carving those to 10 pegs today, but I'd figured we're going to be so much of a rush filming lots of stuff. It's quick and convenient to use something that's tried and tested, and I pre-checked that these actually do fit through the small holes in the shelter system. Right? If you get time, make sure you check these things before you come outside and find out nothing fits. It does eat into your time. And a bit of overkill, I've got a selection of these little hold-on clip-ons. I'll get them out of the bag in a sec. There's a couple of bungees in there, a couple of hanks of paracord in this little mesh bag. So that's cordage sorted out for the trip. We just got a little bog standard DPM bag, which houses mess tins. Now these are the stainless steel Dutch ones, far superior to the British Army issue ones in my opinion. These being stainless and a lot more hard use than the aluminium ones. The only consideration is the weight difference. Whoops. Inside, let's put that down. You got the smaller one. NI gloves, Northern Ireland, issue combat gloves from back in the day. They're multi-use for handling hot things and firewood prep. So I've always got on with those, and a little bit of Scotch-Brite for cleaning, right? Keep it all clean. So, mess kit. And no mess kit wouldn't be complete without these Swedish military KFS knife, fork and spoon. These are bloody hard to get hold of now. I can't think why. About 5 years ago they seemed to be everywhere, but now they're like rocking all shit. But they're the only ones I can find near as damn it to the same size as you would use in your home. I just don't get on with them tiny little things. That's my opinion. Maybe I've got a big spoon for a big mouth, but that's another video. So that's that. Oh, we love these little loadout things. A piss pot, yeah, you might laugh, but well, it's up to you if you want to go clambering out of your pit in the middle of the night in the soaking rain, standing on stinging nettles and bare feet for a pee, roll over, drop the chap in, job done. Clean canteen. Now, I'm seriously considering using this as my water carrier and boiling water purifying container. The size is big. The reason being is when we get snow, you're going to want to get as much volume as you can, all right, to get water. I've still got to source myself one of them little fish things that someone mentioned in the other video about in the pine forest. When I get around to it and I get some money, I'll try and get one of those. It just makes it easier apparently to hang over flame. But for today, what I plan to do is just to sit this in or near the flames and just monitor it, wait for it to boil, use my leather gloves and remove it. Hey presto, clean safe drinking water. It's a shame you can't get these with a wider neck, maybe about the same width as the diameter there, so you can actually get your KFS in there and eat out of it, and with a metal lid as well, so you can actually put the whole thing on the fire without the risk of that melting and just becoming useless. I don't know why Clean Canteen don't do it. They're missing a trick in my opinion, but that's something I would very much like to have, something to do that, because that being all in one, then I won't need to use my BCB mug. And we're going to trial this. I know it's cheap, but you don't knock it till you try it. It's just a mosquito insect repellent. There's a rake of them out here today, and they're dancing over that little creek like something crazy. So that is the contents of my bag, and this weighs a few pounds on its own because it's heavy, well-made canvas. All right. So it's all about trying different things, okay? And we don't really know how we get on until we try it. So a smaller pack for me, and let's see how we get on. And yes, some of you will be wondering, is this the real thing? Yes, it is. This is a genuine Denison smock. I know, I never thought I would actually wear one, never alone own one. And it all happened when my partner and I was walking around a car boot, because money's tight and we're getting lots of bargains to do our house and stuff with. She spotted it, bless her, at the corner of her eye. She said, look at that. And the second I looked at it, I knew what it was. And there was nothing on this earth which is going to stop me from getting that in my hands, and nothing was going to stop me getting it out of my hands. So I went for it. I didn't care about the condition, I just grabbed it. And I looked it over and I thought, this is in very good condition. And when I saw the label inside, 1942, yes, this is a Mark 1 Denison smock, I said to him, how much you want for this old jacket? Hoping they'll say, oh, 20, 30 pound or something. And the woman said to her partner, how much do you want for that old jacket? £2. £2, yeah. So, as calm as you like, I gave him £2 coins and walked away with this genuine Denison smock. And I thought they'd probably retail, or if you're lucky enough to find one, for about £100 or £200. I found one, same as this, but it had been washed in something. I don't know what the seller washed it in on eBay, but all of the dyes come out and it's basically white with a few patches on there. And that, they wanted £995. That's about $1,300. I paid £2 for it. I couldn't believe my luck. And I couldn't thank my partner highly enough for actually just saying, what's that? and then oh my days. So this is a dream jacket, and I'm very privileged to wear it, and it does humble me when you consider the peoples that were wearing this in the past, you know, where this jacket has been, what sort of operations it was involved with. These were only issued to airborne troops in the Second World War, and it's very humbling, to be honest. So yes, for anyone who is asking, this is a genuine Denison smock, and I'll show you the label now. And there it is in all its glory. If you notice the size of the chest, this is quite a big fit for me. But because the size is a bit misleading on the tag, what these were originally designed to do was to go over your original smock and all of your webbing, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's just like a belt rig with all of your pouches on there, and you'll have like fighting daggers up there and pistols, all sorts of things attached to your front. So when you jump out of the plane on operations, this will go over the top. So in theory, when you jump, it doesn't snag on anything, and that is why they are a bit roomy. So I know it's just a tiny bit big for me, but hell, I'm not grumbling at all. It's perfect, it really, really is. And it's so hard wearing, you know, the quality of all this. And apparently these camo designs were hand painted from a designer back in the day. And I took a big gamble. I know some of you are going to roll your eyes and just like go crazy. I actually put this on a washing machine. I know, please forgive me. I put it on a 30 wash for about an hour. Very, very small amount of detergent in there because it was absolutely filthy. And I think it's come out like brand new. And when I was looking at the eBay image of that smock with all of the white on it, where it's being washed out, I was very, very concerned. And the dirt that come out of it, you see it in the window, was black. And I thought, oh my God, it's ruined it. But when it come out, I'm so relieved that it's almost brand new. Original poppers, the whole shebang. Internal pockets, it's all there, all of the poppers. There is one missing on there, on the front, but hey, whatever. So yeah, for those who you're wondering, this is the real deal, and it's definitely not for sale, and I think this is a keeper for sure. And today, knife carry is the Bushcrafter Cookery 7, designed by a friend of mine in the States. This, I can't wait to get working again, because it's been away for about a year. I sent it off to my friend Lee at LB Custom Knives, and he kindly put this leather popper attachment. Some of you guys who've seen my videos from Dot remember when I withdrew this knife out of its sheath, it had like a nylon tab like this. It actually cut right through it because it was so sharp, and I thought the design was a bit iffy. So you see that? It's a spring clipped leather stud fix. So that's all you do, you just lift it and it opens right out. So the meaning behind it is when you withdraw the knife, it doesn't cut this flippy floppy webbing. There's the knife. It's based on the cookery, obviously from Tibet, but it's been adapted somewhat, and I have used this before, but it's been a while, as I say, because it's been with a friend of mine getting that popper stud done, because he's got 1,000 things to do. But it's finally come back, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to take out that leather strop, the recurve strop, because it's ideal to see how I get on with it. Sharpening knives, the straighter they are, the easier they are. When you've got a curve like this, it does make it quite tricky. But with that round strop, I can't wait. It's probably sharp enough as it is, but I want to see if I can get it a bit sharper, because sharper is always better. Always put a hand lanyard on there. You don't have to, but it's my preferred method of adaptation. There's reasons behind yes and no, but for me, I just like the idea of it being on there. John Lofty Wiseman trained all of the SAS jungle troops to do this, so I'm not going to knock the guy. Okay, that's his idea, and I'm sticking with that. It works for me. So we gently, carefully put that back in its little house. And some of you noticed, yes, it has got its own little survival pouch. Now you can put anything you want in here. For today's little trip, I've decided to put my, I call him Ken. self-defense weapon and for small tasks. I bought this on Heaney Haynes a while ago, and there's the info on there. No Ken. I'll call him Ken. So we're taking Ken out today. Awesome knife in the hand. It absolutely, it's so meant to be. And also it's got a lock on the top for extra stability, because you don't want that closing up on you. Alright, it's a great design, and of course it's a liner lock, so you just put it back in its house. And the next thing, yes, I've got another knife because knives are always cool, is the Swiss Army Soldier. Versatility, really. You got more things than just a knife. The serrations were removed by a skilled knife maker here in the UK, Dale Weber. Done an amazing job on there. Got an awesome full flat chisel grind on there now, so that is proper, yeah, too sharp, if there is such a thing. With it comes an awesome saw, a good length saw as well. So we have that, and also, if I can get them out without doing myself in and keeping it in shot, you've got a bottle opener and a screwdriver on there. And if I can get it out here, we've got a can opener and a screwdriver on there too. So, a nice little all-in-one tool there. Be very careful because they are very, very sharp. And just a little lanyard on the end, just easy to get it in and out of the little pouch here. Right, because of the nature of the weather, it's no good wearing this. I'll be putting it on later when it cools down a little. Look at that. Sweating like a pig. Another good tip I got from my father is to, when you get a hat like this, run it under the cold water tap, let the water run really cold, absolutely saturate it, wring it out, saturate it, get it as wet as possible, and it will just keep you cool during the day. So every now and again, it's going in the stream to keep my sweaty bald head nice and cool. And the best thing about this smock, there's no buttons, it just zips down to there, as you can see. It just comes straight off. Oh, already that's a lot better. Perfect. So yeah, I do love that smock. What an awesome piece of kit, and history too. And there you can see is the Plash Palatka on the floor. Just to give you an idea of size, myself, from boot to top of head, I'm 6 foot, and we want to see how big it actually is. Ugh. Diagonally is the best option, I would say. But obviously, it's not long enough to go over me this way. So it certainly makes you think about its uses. Now, for the smaller person, it's perfect. But for me, you're pretty limited diagonal, or unless you curl up. Most of us do actually when we sleep in the fetal position. So it takes some jigging around, but it doesn't factor into how many uses you can get out of this. Yeah, can't believe it actually took seconds to put up with bungees and basher pegs. It's a nice steep angle because we're not anticipating any bad rain whatsoever, and there's quite a big footprint on the floor there for us to get cozy under. Yeah, we're loving this shelter. Another good rule of thumbing before you put your sleep system in place, Once you've got it all set up how you want it, just check the area, right? The last thing you want to do is to do this in the dark, in a rush, and find out you've got a nice big piece of flint sticking in you, and it can take you quite a while to dig it out. So I always make sure that I'll get this done. Doesn't take long, just find a stick. It saves you getting splinters, etc. It saves you getting your gloves out, just a stick will do. And we're literally just going to brush out anything we don't want in there, to be honest. Well, it doesn't take long, but all of the area has now been swept out, including, if you notice along there, it's all been brushed up against that way. Just gives you a little pathway down to the stream, and also the same on this side as well. Everything's just been brushed out of the way, giving you a nice little walkway to get to the stream, etc. Incidentally, now's a good opportunity to let you know what I do after I've just done this. Well, what you'll end up with is finding just pieces of twigs like this. Now you're looking for obviously stuff that you don't want to burn, set that to one side for something else, but stuff that breaks nice and easy. Okay, these are the things like this that you just scatter around your camp. Now, main walkway being there, obviously when it's dark, people are going to crouch under here, so it's a good opportunity to drop a couple around there, and indeed right along the walkway up there. Obviously the more stuff you leave on pathways, the further away, if someone comes along in the dead of night, you will hear quite distinctively that crack noise. Obviously the further away, the more notice you've got to get to your weapon, get ready and defend yourself should you need to. Okay, we're just talking shit hits the fan now, okay? We're not talking allegedly camp out. But me being me, I do it as a rule, always have done, and always will do. So that's all I'll be doing, is just making sure that I've put dry sticks, twigs, etc. around all available ins and outs, entrances and exits, okay? It just gives you a bit of peace of mind, okay? Because you know, if you're a deep sleeper and you're snoozing away and you haven't done this, someone could in theory just walk along nice and sneaky peeky, slowly catchy monkey. Oh look, there's someone sleeping away, they've got no idea I'm here, and they can do anything to you or take your kit, etc. Okay, just look after yourself, and remember, if you're doing something like this, you're out alone, make sure that you tell someone where you're going, what time you'll due back. Okay, there's nothing worse than getting into a situation, no one knows where you are, you've got no mobile phone signal, because invariably you don't when you're in the middle of nowhere. You could be in serious problems. So, little pointer note there. Okay, so there's our bed for the evening. We've got our south inflating mat, the 3/4 length military one we talked about earlier. And literally, all you got to do is just undo that, put it roughly where you want it, and leave it. You ain't got to do nothing else. To be completely honest with you, no bullshit, leave this. I didn't time it. We went out for the day. When we come back, it was done. And I done 2 full breaths, and it was packed with air. You couldn't get another breath in there. So that's great news, because some of the old ones and stuff, they're not as well made. You have to keep blowing them and blowing them and blowing them and blowing them. But no bullshit, 2 breaths after you leave it. I've got no idea how long it takes to get to such a state. As I say, I went out all day and left it, and it was done when we come back. So I wouldn't have thought it would take too long, probably half an hour or an hour, just forget all about it. Just lets you carry on with your other admin tasks, okay? So that's our British Army 3/4 length sleeping mat. More than enough to curl up in a fetal position, keeping your vital organs nice and safe off of the cold damp floor. You don't want to get hypothermia when it gets cold. The blanket is there already. Right, so here we have it. Our little favourite friend, the UCO candle lantern, with the little LED emergency gizmo in the bottom there. Comes with its nice little chain, and as you can see on these, we got eyelets everywhere, which makes it very handy to just literally hang it on there. Now myself, obviously when it's burning, you've got the candle and you've got the glass protector there. I'm not sure whether this is going to be too hot for that distance, so just to make sure that we're nice and safe. I've brought along, I always do when I go camping out, is the old S-beaner. Big fan of these, big fan of these. Got a lot of them because I just like them. Okay, now obviously they're not very load bearing, so you do have to be careful what you put on there. Use your loaf, don't be an idiot and put like 50 tons on there. Okay, they're just lightweight, very handy little pieces of equipment to clip onto. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clip that onto there like so, and just literally hang our lantern on there like that, and that's it. Nice and simple. It should just give us a nice piece of ambient light for this evening when it gets dark. Right, now that we've already checked it out to see that it fits and it's a suitable height and stuff, etc., all I've done now is I've just put it just on the outside there just to keep it out of harm's way. I don't want to be knocking my head, etc. That will go on once I'm settled and it's dark and I'm pretty much staying put, because the last thing you want to do is to keep knocking your head on it. It can be very annoying. And this, what we saw earlier, is the bag that this comes in. Turn it inside out and you've got that nice, like a felt, velvety, soft cover. Makes it very comfortable to sleep on, okay? You put your face on plastic when you sweat, it's going to just stick and scratch, it's going to be nasty. So this is very comfortable. And what I've actually done is I've managed to get my Denison smock inside, and it's gone in pretty much bang on. And that will make for a really good night's sleep, okay? So that is our pillow, which is already really cool. So that is going to be used later, and you can't really stress the importance of having the best night's sleep you can outdoors. Most of us, if we're honest, don't live our life outside. We live in houses, so when you do come outside, especially if you're not really used to doing this sort of thing, it can take you a while to sort of get in tune so you can actually sleep. A lot of people might have like an hour and a half sleep in an environment like this if they're not used to it, because there's going to be noises, maybe spook people, uncomfortable because this is not, you know, a 1 foot deep standard mattress, etc. You haven't got a nice big fluffy duvet. So yeah, bare essentials. It's more than enough to keep you alive and well in the outdoors. Okay, so how we're doing, it's just gone 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's about lunchtime. So obviously you want to try and eat when you're hungry. Okay, don't try and stick to old school times, like you have breakfast at 7, you have lunch at 12, you have tea at 5. Try and just do what your body's asking. If you're feeling hungry, eat. If you get full up, stop. It's that simple, okay? You don't have to have a great big plate of food and get full up halfway through, but just keep going. This is more than enough from what I need. All we got is some multi-seeded rye grain bread, just a flat bread folded in half. We got our carbs in our potatoes, which have been boiled up. We got some black pepper and some salt on there, some rocket, some cucumber, some pepper and some tomatoes, and we just got a handful of sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds in there, and that's it. In my opinion, it's a nice balanced light lunch which will give my body the vitamins and minerals and carbs and proteins it needs. Wow, lovely lunch, but check out the bugs, they're everywhere. I guess you should expect it really, camping by the stream in the summertime. But, we're just going to see how good this stuff is here. And I hope it is good. I really do. Because if not, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. You can see all the little bugs everywhere. Yeah. This time of year it's absolutely teeming with life down by the stream. Absolutely beautiful. I don't think I'll go like empty the whole bottle in one go. Just a few little bits around key areas. Obviously your neck, they always tend to go there. Your arms, because they're exposed obviously. And obviously small of your back. because you know, if you bend down and the t-shirt rides up, even for like 5 seconds, that's enough for them little buggers to get you. So we'll see. And also I should imagine all the way around your belt area too. I use trouser twist to my boots to stop any insects getting up into my legs, so that's pretty much covered. You ain't got to do nothing about that. So hopefully we'll see how this cheap little pen works. Let's keep it crossed, eh? Okay, now that we're all fed and watered, it's time to get some firewood ready for tonight's fire. And I might be tempted to start it a bit earlier, just to get some smoke, just to lose these insects. They're frigging everywhere. So, important thing to take with you when you go to get some firewood: a good pair of gloves, preferably leather or very hard use pair of gloves. You don't want splinters, okay? A saw. It saves a lot more energy than chopping using a great big machete or an axe or something. A saw, very, very simple, very quick. Extra large teeth make it very light work. Okay, so we're taking the saw with us. Most important thing, which always gets overlooked, is a first aid kit. Now this lives under my driver's seat in a vehicle, and it covers everything from small to some serious stuff. Okay, so always take a first aid kit with you when you're getting firewood. The last thing you want to do is to cut something or hurt yourself, and you're quite a walk from your base camp and your first aid kit. So take it with you, alright? It's a good idea to keep it small, alright? This is quite large, but it's, as I say, it covers a lot of things. And of course, we're going to try out that little bag I got from Amazon recently. Tiny little thing. Now, I've not used this before. I'm just going to see how it gets on. I like the idea that bags fit inside zip-up pouches. And look at that. Effectively, what you have is a very lightweight. It doesn't weigh nothing at all, and because it's lightweight, certain things have been missed out, i.e. lots of heavy padding on your straps. Because if you put lots of heavy thick padding in there, it makes the bulk quite big. So the straps are very small and lightweight, and there it is. Nice and simple, and it all zips up inside itself. And what attracted me to this when I was looking for a bag on Amazon was all of these are waterproof zips, which is great because if you are collecting firewood and it's starting to rain, the last thing you want is all your firewood getting wet. So waterproof zips I'm always a big fan on. As I've said in previous videos, any pieces of kit and equipment or bags which have got exposed zips which aren't sealed, like these, every zip is all sealed, okay? I just don't like. I don't care who makes them, I don't care how much they are, I just will not use them. So we're going to see how we get on with this little lightweight, like a day sack. So we're going to go out on a little hunt for some kindling, some tinder. That's pretty good actually, it all cinches up quite nice. Doesn't weigh anything, I don't even know I'm wearing it, which is awesome. So let's go and find some firewood.
Police and thieves in the street, fighting the nation with their guns and ammunition. Police and thieves in the street. Oh yes.
Obviously you can never have enough birch bark. In fact, I've been using this knife for quite a while and I've never sharpened it. I think already that is definitely due for a sharpen. Yeah, that's blunt as hell. So, we're going to need to sharpen that later, which is quite useful really, considering I've just got that little strop. That does need to sharpen, doesn't it? Wow. It's good for chopping, but for delicate stuff, that really does need sorting out. So I'm glad I hooked up with Craig to get that just in time, because I'm hoping it should make light work of stuff like that in the future. Right, that's our knife. We're right on the slope, so we've got to be very careful. Right, that's secure. We've got more than enough bark to get our fire started soon. I'm quite glad I've got this bag now, because it just enables me to manoeuvre around with both the uses of my hands, which is good. Nice one. Well, we found some. See this limb here? Just checked it and it is dead. There's nothing growing on it at all. It's dried out, and some of the thinner limbs at the top just snap off clean. So that is all ready for taking. Now that is quite a good size for fuel. So we're going to be using that back at base camp. So as I said, when you're handling wood and doing fire prep, etc., just get a pair of gloves on, okay? It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. You get whatever suits you, and I've always been comfortable in the old trusty NI gloves. Just remove any obstacles. That's the piece we're taking. This is the tool that we're going to be using. Don't forget, always keep your first aid kit at hand, close by. Didn't take too long at all. Got a trusty silky saw, I love that stuff. As I say, it doesn't really expel any energy, okay? Which is what you're after. So the last thing you want to be doing is getting a great big heavy machete, just chopping and chopping and chopping through that. And it's completely dry, dead, which is perfect for what we need for our fire later on with the fuel. And there she is. So this piece here is going to be a pain in the arse when you're dragging this back to camp. So we're just going to lose that piece. So now this is a good point of note about what I said earlier about this bends back. So you bend it back and lock it. So when you are cutting, my hand isn't going to be smacking on the floor. There you go, a perfect textbook example.
Some people might get some pleasure out of hate me. I've enough already on my plate. People might need some tension to relax me. I'm too busy dodging between the facts. You see, here's what you get. You've made your bed, you better lie in it. You choose your leaders and place your trust as it lies what you're down.